Well, Munguia just put himself in line for a world title shot. Let's get right into the video.
Welcome back, everybody, to another 11th Island Immediate Reaction. I'm Brad, here with Chris. Today, we're talking about the November 13th DAZN Boxing Fight Night main event, where we had Jaime Munguia face Gabriel Rosado for the WBO Intercontinental Middleweight Championship. And of course, Jaime Munguia came away with the decision, dominant across all judges' scorecards. Chris, kick it to you. Did you agree with the scorecards, and what did you think of the fight?
I think I agree. I mean, the right guy won. Munguia, we can quibble and quap and discuss some of the intricacies of each round. And I mean, it was tough because most of the rounds were pretty close, and a lot of big strikes, visual strikes from both guys that were enough to say there was a lot of the times one of them would really come out strong, the other would come out of the gate strong. They were very streaky throughout. So I think there was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times where you could be swayed either way just by the tricks of the eye. But
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, I think the trend was that Munguia was the dominant man through and through, and he was also the one who kind of fought more honorably than the other as well. So I think the right guy won.
Yeah,
Whatever round you give to either guy.
Yeah, I had it 9-3 from Munguia. I gave it was 4, 8, and 9 to Rosado. Rosado was able to land some
Uh-huh.
big shots, but Munguia ate all of Rosado's big shots. Like clearly, he never really seemed visually rocked. Where Rosado, as much of a warrior as he is, not taking anything away from him, he was clearly wearing Munguia's shots a lot more.
Mhm.
And it's something that we talked about a lot during this. It seemed that even though Munguia is the taller guy, Rosado seems to be the heavier guy in
Mhm.
this, and Rosado was really using that weight in the clinch to
Mhm.
his advantage. Don't you think so?
Yeah, particularly in the shoulders. I think he's a wider guy, has kind of more like not reach, but he's like built tall, like or built. You know what I mean. So he kept doing
Hmm.
this thing where he would put his hands together and just battering ram and go into that clinch. I think there was a lot of just kind of brute force going into some of the engagements. He was really pounding that pocket, just constantly going forward. He was either skirting around and then he would kind of skirt around and then just boom, skirt around, boom, and come in. We even got a takedown, like a grappling takedown.
Yeah. I think this is a big resume builder for Jaime Munguia. So coming up from 154, a former title holder there, to 160. He hasn't had too many fights there. Facing a guy that's fought his last three at 168, being able to feel a bigger guy. This is probably Gabriel Rosado's probably the best fighter that he's fought to date in his career. This is a big resume piece builder, and the amount of time in the ring, these 12 rounds of experience are going to go a
Hmm.
long way in his very, very young career.
Hmm. Yeah, and beyond just like a tough physical combatant, you're going up against a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge that really
Mhm.
comes through when Rosado warmed into that fight. I mean, the first three rounds was like, okay, like he's got to figure something out, and then just as we started getting into the middle rounds, he really started heating up, and that's where you see that deep waters, that championship mentality, that just experience come through. And so to be able to triumph over that and kind of to stay in the pocket during something like that, great for Mazzato
Yeah, and then, I mean, the winner of this, of course, Munguia
or
retains his
Magaya.
WBO. Yeah, Munguia, he retains his WBO Intercontinental World title, which for all intents and purposes is a paper title. Doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot. What he's looking to put himself in line for here is the world title shot. Going into this, he was the number one contender for both the WBC and the WBO middleweight belt. Of course, the WBC held by Jermell Charlo, WBO by Demetrius Andrade. Now, the Andrade fought, especially because he's already holding a WBO belt here, I think the Andrade fought is a lot more likely to happen. Andrade is facing Jason Quigley, next Friday on DAZN. So there you get the DAZN connection for the both of them, or DAZN, however you put it. I think that's I think that's the fight that we have to see next. Munguia definitely deserves the title shot. I think we see him step into it. I think the DAZN connection is too easy to make there. Do you agree with me there, Chris?
No, I think you're right on the money with that. One thing I was curious about is just all that stuff going on with Rosado and referee Jim Reeves. There was a lot of
Reese, I think.
Reese,
Reese, like
Reese,
Reese's Pieces.
yeah,
Yeah.
Reese, yeah.
Uh,
Anyways, I'm having a tough time on the names today. It's late, but anyways, there was a lot of malarkey going on. We'll use that word instead of the words that Jim used on the broadcast. I was trying to watch with my kid. It's not good. So, but anyways, Brad, well, what do you think was going on there?
well, it's tough. It's tough. And I mean, you never know. Watching it on TV, you're never right in the situation with him. You don't know how many little things have been said. Maybe Rosado had kind of lipped him or hadn't been listening. But I think it is a lot of situations where a lot of these referees, and we see it, we watch a lot of MMA too. We see it a lot there where sometimes the referees want to make themselves the hero in situations. They want to make it the show about them. And I find it does happen a lot more in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I don't know how we fix this because it's has a lot more to do with the commissions than
Mm-hmm.
the promoters and everything. But it's something that needs to be done because we're not here. I'm not here to see Jim Reese. I signed up to watch Jaime Munguia versus Gabriel Rosado. That's what I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to see. I don't want to see a referee getting in the way. So, I mean, obviously, if the referee needs to stop the fight, get in the way. But you know what I'm saying? I don't want them to make the show about. I shouldn't know who the referee's name is for realistically, right? They should just kind of be hidden there until they're required.
I see. I don't know. I was thinking a lot about refereeing, and maybe that's an issue with this fight because I was thinking more than I usually do about the referee, and I think that's maybe a problem. Some people might say that's a problem, right? Where it's
Hmm.
I was taken out of the fight at times because I was just thinking about what Jim was doing, what he was thinking. Okay, what's your rationality for that? And you think about boxing. I mean, the guy's wearing a bow tie. You know, you got two guys in bright shorts punching each other, and you got a guy with a bow tie just looking intensely a couple feet away. I mean, it's really a freaky thing if you think about it.
Yeah,
But
they got to
I mean,
switch it up and go to
but
MMA
but
where they don't wear the bow
my
ties.
point is the referees are part of the show. They are part of this, and I think because boxing is so technical, you
Hmm.
have to have somebody that's willing to be heavy-handed in order
Yeah,
to maintain the sanctity, the purity, and just the function of the sport. So anytime you have a situation like that, people are gonna have a hero mentality. These are older guys that have been around the sport forever. They've seen it change. They've seen it. Guys that have like they know what the dirty stuff is. They see every little intricate. Because if we notice that, hey, this
hmm,
guy's clinching a whole lot. Hey, this
hmm,
guy's really like shooting some late punches when the
yep,
bell rings. Hey, this guy shot a takedown, took him to the ground. Yeah, had to be told you can't wrestle. This is not a wrestling match.
hmm,
What did we not see?
yeah,
what do we not see about the gloves? Was there
yeah.
something suspicious going on with the gloves? Did he have some spider tack? Maybe. I don't know. You know.
Hmm. But enough about the referees here. We got to get back to the fighters and thing. So for Munguia, looking ahead, I think it's safe to say he deserves a world title shot. This is boxing. The two title holders being Charlo and Andrade. Who the hell knows if they're gonna actually get the title shot with those guys? So as much as Munguia deserves it, it's boxing. We never know what's gonna happen. For
Hmm.
Rosado though, 35. What do we do here after this loss? I think this was his last hurrah. I think at this point, if he wants to continue fighting, he's going to really have to step into that gatekeeper role.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, he's going to every once in a while maybe pick off that young contender. But I
Hmm.
think his days of this was his last kind of run here. And I think unfortunately for him, it's over. And given the style of fights that he puts on
Hmm.
in these wars and the
Yeah.
wars that he's had in the past, I wouldn't upset me to see him kind of walk away, and don't take any unnecessary damage. As long as your bank account's in a good place, Gabriel, you've given everything to the sport of boxing. You're well respected.
Yeah.
People love to see you fight. We don't want to start seeing some ugly fights down the road just to
Yeah,
stick around.
and I think the thing that concerns me is kind of the model for the way this fight worked out is he almost became a heel of sorts against a baby-faced up and coming protege, you
Literal
know.
baby face.
Yeah, a
Yes.
little
Yeah.
baby face protege, and I think that loans itself too well to a we're gonna churn you out as a gatekeeper and really run you into the ground. I hate to see it anytime in combat sports somebody becomes a gatekeeper. It's just not good.
Yeah. With that said, I think we're running out of time here, Chris.
Yes, we are. All right, Brad. Tell the people what they got to do.
All right. If you like this immediate reaction, we're coming out with immediate reactions almost every weekend. We did one a few hours ago for the Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez fight in the UFC. So make sure you check that out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Giveaways going at 350, 500 subscribers. If you enjoyed this, make sure you stick around, and we'll see you later.
See ya. Goodbye.